All right, y'all, welcome back to another day of Vlogmas. I'm going to show you guys how to make my banana pudding. It's the best banana pudding. I'm going to show you step by step how I do mine. Everybody loves it. Nobody's fucking with my banana pudding. I don't care. I don't care. I'm not apologizing. So, because I'm an extremist, I use 3 different cookies. I use Chessmen cookies, Lorna doone, and we got some vanilla wafers. You're going to need some bananas. I'm making a big pan because I'm attending a party. So I'm making a very large pan. So this is going to be able to feed probably up to 30 guests. You know, depending how greedy people get. We'll see. But I'm using 5 bananas. You're going to need a hand mixer. I have 2 cans of sweet condensed milk. You're going to need 2 packs of vanilla pudding. The instant pudding. 2 packs of those. You're going to need some heavy whipping cream. I have that in the freezer right now because I need it to be very cold. Because you're going to be making our own whipped cream. And I use 2 different bowls. One bowl is going to be for the whipped cream and one is going to be to make the jello. Oh, also you need 2 cups of ice cold water. So I actually have a bottle of water in the freezer as well, getting cold. First, we're going to start off with doing the pudding. I'm going to go with this bowl. Let me get the water. All right, I got the bottle of water. I got some spring waters. It might have been getting a little too icy, but that's fine. So what we're going to do, you're going to open your cans, rinse the top off. All right, so let's clean the top off. If you see my hands ashy, do not mind. I've been washing my hands all day. Big mama been busy. All right, so clean the top off. And then we're just going to open those. What you want to do, I just cleaned this bowl out, rinsed it out. You want to pour your sweet condensed milk into the bowl, both cans. If you want smaller portions, just cut everything in half. So you'll do 1 cup of water, 1 can of sweet condensed milk. I'm going to actually be using 6 cups of heavy whipping cream. But if you want to do half the portion, you want to make like a small container for your family for a couple days, you'll just be using 3 cups of. And I am using this spatula to try to get all the milk out. All right, that is all done. Set that to the side. Okay, now we're gonna use, if you're doing half, you're only gonna use 1 cup of water. I have just a bottle of water. This is a little bit over 2 cups, but it's fine. So I'm just gonna pour that in. Make sure the water is ice cold, like really, really cold. Take your hand mixer and we're gonna mix this for 1 minute. Okay. Now that is done mixing, you're gonna open your pudding packs and you're gonna dump it in. Now that you have that in, you're gonna mix this until it is well blended. Give it about 2 minutes. All right. Now that is all mixed, that has been mixed for about 2 minutes. I'm gonna cover it. I like to use this press and seal. It just doesn't get super messy like saran wrap. And it sticks to the bowl really nicely. So I'm just gonna cover that. I'll let that sit in the fridge for a good hour until, it sets rather. And in the meantime, I'm about to clean up my mess and then we will come back and I'll show you how to do the whipped cream. All right, so the pudding has been sitting for about 1.5 hours and I'm about to get started on this whipped cream. So to make whipped cream, really all you need is heavy whipping cream. So this equals up to 6 cups. So again, if you want to make a smaller portion, you just use 3 cups. And you want to make sure that it is cold. So I had one of them sitting in the freezer getting really cold, but yeah, I had this big one in the freezer making sure it get real cold, but it's a little frozen. But all is good. So now what you're gonna do on medium, you're gonna whip it for like 2 minutes. And then after 2 minutes, you're gonna go high. Be careful not to over whip. When it starts getting thick and peaking, that's when you know the whipped cream is done. So I'll speed this up a little bit. All right, so I just whipped this for 2 minutes so far. Now I'm about to turn it up to high, and it's gonna like gradually get thick and start peaking. It won't be watery like this no more, and then you'll have whipped cream. And this is what I mean by peak. See, I can lift it up and it's thick. This is now whipped cream. Very easy. Whipped cream. So doesn't it look so pretty? So now I got this big spoon. Our pudding is all set. Like I said, it's been setting for like a good hour and a half. So now what you're gonna do, I just let it plop right in here. It slides right out, honestly. There you go. And what you want to do, you don't want to stir it. You want to like fold it into each other, because you want to keep the shape of the whipped cream. So be careful not to over whip your whipped cream. So folding in the banana pudding, and it's sweet because, you know, we use the sweet condensed milk. So you want it to be like a light yellow color. And this is a little workout, but it's so worth it. I don't make my banana pudding no other way. All right, so I'm just gonna cover this with the same plastic, the cling wrap, cling and press, whatever it was called, press and seal. Cover that, and I'm gonna set it back in the fridge while I cut these bananas. So I'm gonna cut these bananas. Should be self-explanatory. Cut them. I like to cut mine not super thin, but not thick either. I like for them like middle size. I do mine like that. So I'm just gonna open these Lorna doones so it'll just be easier for me to grab and go. This is the pan I got. This is one of them heavy duty pans. This pan was almost $9, but it is a heavy dessert. So I didn't want to go get them from Dollar Tree and have to double up and it still be leaning or whatever. I just throw some dollops in there just to spread it at the bottom of the pan. But you can, you know, at this point it's up to you how you want to assemble it. But I always do like a thin layer of the pudding mix and the whipped cream. And this is going to be the fluffiest cookies all throughout. Like my banana pudding is really, really like that. And then I go in with some of the bananas. And like I said, I don't like using too much bananas. I do like to make sure every little spoonful you get, you will have some banana. So I do that. And then I'm gonna go in with the Lorna doone, and I just break those in half and just toss them in. I like to break up the vanilla wafers too and just toss them. All right, we're gonna go more with the whipped cream, and you just layer that on top. And then more bananas. All right, I'm gonna add a couple Chessmen cookies. Like every bite is gonna be full of cookies. 3 different cookies at that. And most people Let it sit for overnight. Literally a minimum of 4 hours will work. All right, so everything is spread on nicely. I'll have to clean up the sides. So now what I like to do, I'm gonna take the rest of these chessmen cookies and I like to just put them around the perimeter. So that's how I do the chessmen. I like to put Lorna doones in between each, like that. Look at how pretty. So I have 2 Lorna doone cookies left. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna crumble them up and just all over the middle. And then I do the same with the vanilla wafers. All right. And my banana pudding is done. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna cover it in some foil, let it sit in the fridge for a minimum of 4 hours. And then off to the party it goes. Thank you so much for watching this. I will have the recipe linked in the description box. Try it out. Let me know how it was. Let me know if it was good. Let me know if you do it again. And yeah, that's my banana pudding. I'll see y'all next time.